Environmental campaigners are worried that the UK government is going back on any green promises that aren't universally popular with voters. The recent decision to allow more oil and gas drilling in the North Sea has been described as hypocritical. Local authorities, despite the changes of opinion at central government, are rolling out schemes to improve local communities by drawing inspiration from the popular urban planning concept of the 15-minute city. John Bevir reports from southwest England.
Welcome to Cottam Hill in Bristol, a possible vision of the future for the largest city in southwest England. Sections of road were closed here during the pandemic to help with social distancing and allow hospitality businesses to reopen safely. 2 years on, local residents were given a series of options about what the future should hold. 90% of those who responded chose to keep the road closed to traffic permanently.
It's absolutely something we need to be doing as cities, here in Bristol, in the UK and right across the world. We have a commitment to becoming net zero by 2030 here in Bristol, and lots of cities have similar targets.
Liveable neighbourhoods, as they're known, are designed to be inclusive, attractive places where people can feel part of a community. It's a step below the concept of 15-minute cities, where you have everything you need within 15 minutes of your front door. But a huge part of both concepts is limiting traffic. Some 6 kilometres east, $7.5 million is being spent on the most ambitious scheme of its type in Bristol. Extensive public consultation has taken place to work with the community and target problem areas. The East Bristol Liveable Neighbourhood pilot scheme is largely about traffic management. Keeping cars on main roads and reducing the speed and volume of traffic are key goals.
The aim is just to look at the whole area and go, what changes can we make that make it more livable, make it less dominated by traffic and by pollution, both noise pollution and air pollution, and make it a better place for people to live and walk around and be here.
With so many of these schemes linked to traffic, persuading people to give up their cars is what campaigners see as the major challenge. Many people won't give up their cars because they don't feel safe cycling or scooting on the streets. Liveable neighbourhood schemes should fix that. But there's also the wider issue of public transport, and many argue that significant long-term investment is needed if people are to be persuaded to swap their car keys for a bus pass. A temporary scheme to cut fares across the UK has been extended to the autumn in a bid to get more people onto public transport. But away from the city centres, bus routes have been slashed in many places. Of course, different schemes have different levels of popularity. In London, some low traffic neighbourhoods, or LTNs, have been met with fierce local opposition. This one in Dulwich is keeping traffic off side streets, meaning the main road is often solid with congestion.
It's difficult to see how that's consistent with the objective of a 15-minute city. Transport has to be a part of the solution. We need more electric buses, we need better train services, and also we do need changes to make our roads safer for cyclists.
In a turn of events, the current Transport Secretary has stripped central government funding for future schemes wanting to create car-free zones. Don't punish motorists and instead offer people more incentives to not drive is the thinking. Instead, $250 million worth of funding will be diverted to develop more cycle networks. As the pilot scheme gets underway in Bristol, campaigners have vowed to keep talking to residents to get their feedback. Some argue that this should only be the beginning, that much bigger plans are needed to truly make neighbourhoods livable and get somewhere near the concept of the 15-minute city. John Bevir, CNA, Bristol.